Hello and welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If you're watching this video, this reading was meant to find you, regardless of your zodiac sign. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. We start with the very authentic Prince of Cups. This is someone who is trying to live their truth, speak their truth, someone who is trying to be, kind of like emotionally honest with themselves and perhaps some other people in your life too. But it really is a striving toward authenticity, okay? I think that this is you trying to understand what you believe and what you feel and live your life according to your own principles and values and not let the world rub off on you too much, This is kind of like we're trying to be open and vulnerable and receptive and sensitive, but we're not trying to be overly influenced by the beliefs and values, the feelings of other people. Okay, so we're trying to get close to the water here, but we're trying not to dive right into it. We're trying to make sure that what we're going after is what we truly want, right? Maybe you're considering diving into something, but first you want to make sure that this is really your soul talking and not some other influence, right? That's kind of making decisions for you, right? Let's put this card into a little bit of context. I think this is a great way to begin. I think that is it's a very powerful card. It's a Scorpio type of energy. And look at that. Now we have a Prince of Wands. We have a Leo type of energy. The Prince of Wands here. Fixed fire. We have the Lovers. We have a 10 of Wands, an Ace of Wands. We have a 6 of Wands. A lot of fire now. Look at that. A lot of good fire energy. We have a 3 of Pentacles. We have a 7 of Pentacles, a 2 of Pentacles, and look at that, 6 of Cups. Very, very nice. We have water and fire right here in the middle, right? And then what we end with is a water and fire also, but the 6, the harmony. Perhaps the harmony between you and another person. I think it seems like we might be talking about you and a friend, a family member, a romantic partner, a potential business partner or coworker or something like this. Because I feel like there's kind of like there's a hesitance to mix, right? Because fire and water, right? It's kind of like it's going to produce potentially it could produce some steam. It could make some turbulence. It could really make some waves here. It's, either the fire is going to boil the water or the water is going to extinguish the fire. So I feel that there is there's an attempt to harmonize with somebody right now, that maybe you're kind of forced in this work situation and you got to figure out how to get along with somebody. It could be that we are having these feelings toward another person that we kind of aren't mixing well right now. Okay, we feel that maybe they're not mixing well with us, or that someone in your life is perhaps too assertive, too too aggressive in the way that they are approaching either the work life or the home life or something like this, right? Someone's coming on just a little bit too strong. Yeah, it's interesting cards, but I like the harmony that we have here at the end. I think things are going to work out very, very well for you. I think that you in this partnership, whatever this is, and we do have the Lovers card, of course, but it doesn't mean that it's a romance. It could be, but it doesn't have to be a romance. Okay. If anything, we have these pentacles, the earth energy here, that suggests it might be either a living situation with, roommates, or it could be a work situation. Okay. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right here with Jimbo, the Lizard King, aka Mr. Lizard, right there on top. Okay. We're not going to look at that card until the end, but it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. Okay. If you have a prediction for that card, please put that down in the comments below. Let's take a look around the room, because the only major arcana we have is the Lover's card. And then we've got fire, 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 fire. We've got a little bit of water and water. We don't have any air. We have earth, earth, and earth. So first of all, the absence of the air energy is, I feel like there is a conversation that's not being had. I feel like there is, it's almost like we're kind of avoiding somebody, that we just feel like there's an energy that's like, we're just not able to connect. And so I think that's what we're working on right now, is trying to figure out how to connect with this person. I feel like there's an underlying bond between you and this person. Maybe a coworker, maybe a family member, sibling. It could be a romantic partner. It could just be like a friend. But I feel like there's an underlying bond. And I think that there is something more important between the two of you that will eclipse all the tension or the problems or the different personalities. I feel like it's a kind of a personality clash more than anything else. Okay. So the absence of the air is saying, like, there's a conversation that needs to happen, but it's not happening. The communication isn't happening. It's kind of blocked right now. There's something that's preventing that, and maybe it really is that we're just fire and water. We're oil and water, right? We're not going to mix. And perhaps any time that you feel, from your perspective, anytime we try to approach this person and have that conversation, we end up with an argument. We end up with this friction and this turmoil and this, turbulence, right? So it could be that we're avoiding this person. We're avoiding, talking to this person. But we do have the Lover's card. And I think this is the foundation upon which this whole situation is built, right? This is something that's inside of you. And I think that this is a strong desire to be with this person, to bond with them, to honor the commitment that you made. Maybe this is between you and your employer, a coworker, maybe it's a family, a friend, a lover, whatever it is. This is showing the commitment. This is the choice that we've made to say yes. And this, I think, is, like I said, it's eclipsing any of the personality clashes that we may be experiencing. This is the underlying thing. And it may be that you are just really, like right now, not talking to this person. Okay? But you're somebody who honors your commitments. You're somebody who, I think you've said, look, I'm in this. I've made a choice to be in this relationship, a partnership, or to be part of this family, or to be part of this company. You chose to do this. And I'm almost feeling like this is more work than anything else, especially with our 10 of Wands in the background here. But not necessarily, right? Because what we could be feeling is that this is a romantic relationship, but as much as you're trying to express yourself and be authentic and show love and be open and vulnerable to this person, it feels as if they are meeting you with resistance, right? So I wonder if you're trying to express love to somebody and they're kind of giving you the cold shoulder, they are responding in a resistant way. I was going to say with some friction, or they're responding a little bit aggressively, or it doesn't feel as if they are receptive. Yeah. And, it could be why we don't have any water energy until the very end of the reading, right? Till the last card is when we finally get the water energy. The harmony, the love, the family, right? This is a card really of everybody getting along. Yeah. So it really could be that this commitment that you've made is something that you're not trying to question, but I think there is part of you that is uncertain. I feel that there's this, we're trying to hone in on how we really feel right now, because there's this awareness that, well, look, breaking up is not an option, or getting divorced is not an option, or I'm not going to quit the job because I've made the commitment and I'm going to figure out how to do this. So it's like we're not even entertaining the idea of, going a different direction, right? Because this is the promise that you've made, okay? And you're somebody that keeps your word. When you've made a commitment, you're in it until you really have that kind of certainty that says it's not going to work, right? And then I think you're fine to go your own way, but it's not something that you take lightly. You honor your commitments, And I feel right now that we're trying really through like sheer willpower to honor this commitment, even though we're really not happy with this person, or they're not responding to us in a way that feels harmonious. It feels like you're trying to express yourself. If we look at this, at the Prince of Cups as your energy, right? And then we have this Prince of Wands as sort of representing the other person. Now, I don't know if it's a Scorpio and a Leo energy, but it could be. Okay. There's also the Gemini connection with the Lover's card. But these two don't seem to be getting along, and they seem to know that, and so they kind of seem to be avoiding each other a little bit, right? This could be a teammate. It could be, the coworker or a sibling or friend, right? Whatever it is, whoever they might be. There is perhaps a competition between the two of you. Perhaps you don't feel that way, and I don't think that you want the competition. I think you're trying to just be yourself. You're trying to live and love the way that's appropriate for you. But I feel that there's some hostility coming from this person. I kind of feel like you're this water energy in the middle, and you're surrounded by this fire. And so it seems like there might be a situation where you're not really feeling the love. You're trying to give it and express it, but you're not getting it back. You're being met with hostility. Now, in the background, we have the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands is, it could be a very generous energy. Sometimes this card is talking about our relationship with somebody else being one of codependence. Okay, and I feel that this is in your background. Okay, so I feel like you're very aware of a relationship that's too one-sided, where there's one person that's putting in all the effort and the other person is just kind of taking, or just even resisting, like not taking, And so I feel like because you know what these types of relationships are like, that's sort of influencing the way you feel now. Because you don't want to repeat this. And we don't need to talk very, very long about this card. But this is one of those things where all the weight was on your shoulders. Okay? And maybe this is you going into this situation and trying to have that conversation that says, hey, look, I don't like that the scales are so tipped in my direction. Okay? Maybe the Prince of Cups is you trying to express yourself and tell somebody how you feel, that, hey, look, things are out of balance. I feel like I'm doing all the work, and and you're taking all the credit or something, because this is oppression. This is a lot of weight on your shoulders when there are more balanced, more fair, more harmonious ways to go about this work. Okay, this is in the workplace. This is somebody who is doing all the responsibility, taking all the blame, right? Doesn't get any of the credit. If this is a relationship, this is somebody that's really like, maybe you're bringing home all the money. Maybe you're doing all the housework. Maybe you're raising the kids. Maybe you're putting in all the effort for, intimacy and romance and communication, and you're being met with resistance. So it feels very one-sided. It feels like the scales are tipped when what we want is a partnership, whether this is a friendship or a family thing or a lover, it doesn't matter, coworker, the boss or something. We want a fair and an equal partnership, something that is reciprocating, something where we honor each other, we respect each other. But what you seem to be kind of familiar with is a relationship where it's completely imbalanced. Okay? So sometimes this is an energy that says, we know what it's like to be taken advantage of. We know what it's like when somebody is just using our energy. Okay? When somebody is just kind of draining our vitality for their own benefit, kind of an energy vampire in a way, and there's really no balance, there's no harmony there. Okay? So I feel like we need to have that conversation, because what we want, of course, the outcome that we're looking for is the Six of Wands. We want victory. We want the balance to be restored. We want to fight if we have to and win. Okay? The Six of Wands is victory after struggle. And I think the struggle is happening right here, right now. At least it's happening inside of you as you figure out how to navigate this situation. Because what you want is the balance. What you want is the fairness. You want, if we're going to be a team, we got to be a team. Okay? Now, I like that we have the Six of Cups, because it's saying we're not just a team, we're going to be a family. Okay? And so we're sort of taking it one step beyond here, where there's mutual love and affection, rather than just like, look, I do half the housework, you do half the housework. Let's just split the work 50-50 kind of thing, right? Here is a little bit more intimate, a little bit more like a family kind of vibe. But the Ace of Wands up top here tells me that you're capable of going your own direction if you needed to. And I think what you're looking for is that final answer from yourself, like you're searching your soul a little bit. You're trying to be authentic and say, what's really going on here and how do I really feel? You know, are your feelings eclipsing the reality of the thing? Or is this foundational partnership and commitment that you made, is this winning out over anything else? We want to have the certainty. We want to have that kind of that resolution within ourselves, that final answer that says, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I do feel like we need the air energy in order to have the conversation. We need to find a way to communicate this in a way that is, in a way that's going to be received by the other person. Okay, and they may be so different from you in terms of your personality that the way that you communicate, they just don't understand it. Okay, I feel like you're trying to communicate your feelings with the Prince of Wands, right? It's air and water, but they are air and fire. So you're communicating with love. They're communicating with it's all business. You know, they're communicating in a different frequency. Okay, so it's like we're on the walkie-talkie, but we're on different channels. And so we keep talking. The other person's like, I'm talking too, and we're not hearing each other. Okay, so I feel like if there is conversation, we're on different wavelengths. Okay. And I do feel like this is somebody like the same age as you. It's not like a child, it's not a parent, it's like someone, a contemporary, it's a peer, it's a lover, it's a sibling, it's a coworker, but it's somebody who's, you know, same generation as you, basically. This could be taking place in any location, any situation for you. But it does, it feels as if there's a communication blockage, and that needs to be remedied. Okay, because I think you're committed to the relationship you're in now, but you can just as easily commit to going your own direction and sort of getting out of this. Okay, it's not what you wish to do. It's not what it would not be preferable, but you're capable of that. You have this Ace of Wands, and this to me says that you're a very strong-willed person. Yeah, you can do the difficult thing when you need to, and maybe the difficult thing now is to sit down and have that conversation and try to use some words and phrases that they will resonate with. You know, perhaps these two cards together are also talking about the way that we're expressing our emotions may come across to the other person as an attack. Okay. So I think we're formulating the right words. We're trying to figure out the right way to communicate. And perhaps this other person, the other party, this other entity, perhaps they don't understand, you know, the kind of love language that you're using, right? Maybe they understand things more in terms of, I don't know, maybe more direct, maybe not so subtle. with the emotions. Maybe it's just you need to be blunt. You need to sit down and be like, this is the deal. Maybe they respond more to the kind of the team parlance and vernacular rather than the kind of love language. Okay. Let's talk about the path of the serpent. As we talk about these cards, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed, please do. These readings are totally free. Okay. Your general energy is the Three of Pentacles. You want to make it work. You're somebody that is going to put in the effort. You're not just going to say, oh, it's hard, I'm giving up. You're going to keep working at something. Okay? You understand the process of change on the physical plane. And it's basically saying that if this relationship isn't working for you, if something isn't right about this, and I think maybe it's starting to feel like it's a little bit one-sided, you're not going to just give up because it's difficult. You're going to say, okay, well, we got to restore the balance. This is also the card of hard work. To me, it feels like you're doing your part, but the other person's not matching you. We have a 3. Where's the other half, right? We want the 6. You have the work ethic. You have the attention. You have the Mars and Capricorn. You've got the hard-working energy. You've got the stamina and the endurance. It feels like it's not being equally matched. It feels like somebody is not, I don't know, it feels like they're not on par with you. Yeah. Maybe this is the idea that, you're a hardworking person. Maybe you have a full-time job. Maybe you come home, you cook, you clean. You're ambitious. You got high energy. And maybe this other person is just not really interested in working like that, working on themselves. Maybe this is about self-development, spiritual development. Maybe somebody is refusing to be introspective at all. Maybe this is the idea like we're going to go to counseling or something and they're resistant to it. Maybe this is the other way around in a way. Maybe you want a more loving, affectionate, intimate, artistic even life. Maybe this other person is all business. Maybe this other person is just, no, I'm just going to work and make money. That's all I care about. Maybe you're realizing that you are feeling as if you care about different things than this person does. We have to have that conversation before we take any action because we don't know. Again, there's no air energy here. There's no understanding. There's no communication about what these thoughts and feelings are. But there are thoughts and feelings. Okay. There are thoughts and feelings. And it may be that there are a lot of emotions that shift between kind of sadness and anger or love, and then there's resentment. We need to have that communication so we can understand what page the other person is on, what frequency are they on, and then we can make that decision if we're compatible or not. Okay. The Three of Pentacles is saying that you are willing to work on this, that you understand that any relationship, whether it's a work relationship, a family, a friend, relationships are work, right? Anyone who's ever had one knows that they're work. It's not just one and done good. You have to maintain that. There's a lot that goes into a healthy and successful relationship. We could be talking about a relationship with ourselves. Maybe there are two opposing desires in you. Maybe there is the desire for let's work and make money, and then there's this desire for let's just have a family, let's just love. Maybe this is love and work, right? So there is the opposition that we're seeing, okay? But I like the Three of Pentacles. You're willing to work on it because this relationship is worth the effort. Okay, there is a moment in time where we will realize yes or no if it is working. You're going to keep at it until you can reach that sort of full body, full mind, full heart decision that says it's not going to work. Okay, and that's a critical point that you have to determine for yourself, like where that line is. And I think you'll feel it in your bones when it's just not working, and I need to be done. I need to formulate a plan to get somewhere else, to do something else. Okay? I don't think you're there yet. All right? I think that you're working on this. I think with the Seven of Pentacles here, this is your recognition that the relationship needs work. The relationship is not thriving the way it could, and the way it might. We don't know for sure. I think you believe that it will. And right now we're still working hard to make the relationship work. See, this is the Seven of Pentacles. It's saying something's not as good as it could be. Maybe this is a business thing. Maybe it's kind of saying like, look, if we both put in equal effort in this business, we'd be rich. But there's only, you're doing the work, the other person is kind of slacking off. Maybe this is a school thing. Maybe this is the domestic life in the home. Maybe this is about doing the chores or, that sort of thing. Maybe this is, maybe you're doing the garden and one person is just kind of, chasing butterflies. The other person's digging all the holes. And it's like, come on, if we work together, this thing could be so much better. This thing could be like amazingly successful, but we got to work together. So without the teamwork, I think what we have is a failure to thrive here. See, if we had teamwork here, if we had equal effort, this would be remedied. If we had equal interest, care, and love, along with equal effort, this thing would be astronomical. This thing would be through the roof. Okay? So it could be a business partner, a creative partner, it could be roommates, and it's kind of saying like, look, if you have a bunch of roommates, if we all work together to keep the house clean and to fix things and to really, like, this place could be like perfect. This could be a paradise, right? And that's kind of what the pentacles are like here. We want the pentacles to all progress in a way that's going to become the Empress, right? The Empress is kind of the culmination of all the pentacle cards. All the earth cards sort of grow into the Empress energy. And the Empress is heaven on earth. It's paradise. It's bliss. It's euphoria. It's a utopia. It's the big rock candy mountain. What we have now is not really doing it. It's not working. So we're trying to put in the effort to build things up in that way. Okay. Your effort into this is sufficient. Like, you could, on your own, right? 7 plus 3. You could make the 10 of Pentacles yourself. Doing it with another person, it, in theory, would make it easier, would make it greater, make it more enjoyable, make it more fun. You know what I mean? It's always more fun to do things with a partner. But you could do it by yourself if you wanted to. Okay? But since you're involved in this partnership, you don't want that fact to prevent the success. It's like, I could do this on my own. Why do I need to be here with you doing it? Because you're kind of dragging the energy down when you are trying to rise up. And this other person is making it more difficult when you could sort of lose the dead weight and do it yourself, So there really is a commitment here. And I think that conversation needs to be had. The 2 of Pentacles is in the position of what we don't want. We don't want change. We don't want change in that manner. We don't want this to be, we don't want to have to switch gears and change paths and go a different way. We're hoping that the other person can change, right? So that's why you don't want the change, but you're hoping that the other party, the other entity, the boss, the workplace, the home environment, the other people involved, your romantic partner, spouse, your best friend, your family member, you want them to sort of step up. Because you've already stepped up. So it's kind of saying like, I'd rather they step up than for me to have to step down. Does that make sense? And so there's this reluctance to really do anything different. You're going to keep doing what you're doing, and it's either they're going to rise up and be a partner with you, an equal partner with you, or you're going to keep rising up and you're going to have to kind of let them go because they're pulling your energy down. So we're hoping for change, but I don't think that you feel like you need to, that it's kind of on the other person. But we know we can't control other people. We can't force anybody else to change. I think we can have the conversation where we express what our needs, what our desires, what our feelings are, and that's what this card's trying to do, is to really know how I feel and figure out how to articulate it. I'm trying to be authentic here. I'm trying to be real. Now, how can I communicate that to somebody else where they get it? And how I can maybe inspire them to maybe make a change. Because again, this could be really, really great if we work together. If things were a little bit more equal, this could go through the roof. It could be just amazing. It could be a utopia, right? So we might be trying to stimulate or encourage change in this partner of ours. And our ultimate goal or outcome here is going to be the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is family. The Six of Cups is a tranquility, it is a harmony and a beauty. We're looking for teamwork, but we're looking for teamwork that also feels good. It feels like a family. This is a work thing. This is like, now we're really now we all care about the same things. Now we're harmonized in our feelings as well, as our efforts are equal and we're able to share things with each other in this way. So really, this feels like, this feels good. This feels better than any one of these on their own, because yeah, we could have family, but it's not really functionally fair, Or we could have the teamwork, we could have the balance of effort, but there really is no love there. Right? So we could have love but no teamwork, teamwork but no love. I think you want both of these. You want somebody to want to be here. You want somebody to want to put in the work to build this life with you, okay? Or this business, or this family, or this friendship, or whatever it is. I feel like that's what we're gonna have. We have to be able to communicate how we feel. And if we're gonna make a decision, if we're gonna have a final sort of answer or a resolution to this, we're gonna need to have that conversation and make sure that the other party, the other entity, is on the same page as you. And make sure that there is a will and a desire there for this partnership. Maybe we're encouraging somebody else to really get in touch with their feelings and say, tell me what you really want. Do you want to build this life with me, or are you not into it? Let's look at the mystery card. Yeah. This would be wonderful if it was an Ace of Swords. Maybe it'll be a Six of Swords. We're having the conversation. We're in harmony. We're on the same frequency now. Our walkie-talkies are tuned to the same channel now. So that would be very nice. But if you have a prediction, put it in the comments down below. Let's see. It's a King of Swords, which is a fixed air energy, just as these two are fixed fire, fixed water, fixed air. Okay, so we have kind of three. We have three of these. But the thing about the King of Swords is that it's double air. It's air and air. It's like it's an really intense air. And I think that what it's saying here is that we have to be flexible in the way we communicate. We have to look for different ways of expressing ourselves. We have to be willing to listen as much as speak, as much as we're trying to express what we want, what we think, what we feel. We have to be willing to listen to what the other person is really saying. What are they saying that they're not saying? What are they saying through their actions and their behaviors? Yeah. I think that this card is, in one sense, it's about the fixed air energy, about you sticking to your beliefs, about you having your sort of your non-negotiables, the promises that you've made to yourself. This is what I will put up with, this is what I won't put up with. This is the life I want, and I'm not going to budge. Okay? So you're being very firm in what you believe. At the same time, you're being very flexible and very open and non-judgmental. And you're willing to really listen and consider what the other person is saying to you. And this is how you're going to reach the resolution. You can have non-negotiables, things that you will not compromise on, but then there are other things that are kind of you're willing to put on the table to trade, to talk about and be open to. But it's kind of like, let's say, it's your spiritual practice. No, I'm not budging. My religion, I'm not budging on that. I don't care who you are. That's nothing. Nope, we're not even talking about that. But other things, we can have that conversation about, and we're willing to be open and flexible. So this is a card that is about the firm beliefs that we hold, but then our willingness to listen and really consider, really contemplate what the other person is saying and the new information that's coming in. Okay, and maybe this is saying let's not jump to any prejudgments or conclusions about this person until we have a conversation. Okay, this card is those very firm beliefs, right? Our fixed air energy, the things that we believe. Let's be open to changing our mind. Let's not go into this conversation. Let's not show up to work every day. Let's not wake up in the morning already believing that something is a certain way, or that, this situation is, like, we've already reached a conclusion in a way. We've got to be open to that conversation. Okay. Now, we're going to jump straight into the extended reading. Okay, usually there is a link in the corner, and there's a link down below. And if you want to join the channel and watch the extended readings for your zodiac sign, definitely click on the links. But for this reading, we're going to go straight into the extended reading. Okay, so we're going to do that right now. We're going to start with an I Ching hexagram. We'll move into some oracle cards and, of course, some more tarot cards. So your hexagram today is hexagram 41. We'll get our commentary and translation for hexagram 41, which is a decreasing. Below the mountain there is a lake, decreasing. You rectify ill will and restrain your desires. Decrease, stay true. It is supremely auspicious. There's no mistake, but it calls for perseverance. It's worthwhile to have a purpose in going. How is this to be applied? 2 small rice baskets could be presented as the offering. It's kind of like we're going to the negotiating table. We're going to the sit down, and we're going to bring some gifts. Okay, that it's a token of our goodwill. That we're trying to we're going into this not with anger, not with resentment, not with any prejudice or bias, but we're going into this with love and with a token of our affection, so to speak. Control your anger and tame your desires. You'll have a lot of success, and you won't make a mistake if you are sincere and authentic. Even a modest offering of just a couple of things will suffice. You're trimming the excess, you're plugging the leaks, you're lowering your expectations, you're doing more with less. This is very close to Schumacher's idea of small is beautiful. You're appreciating the subtle instead of needing to get blown away, right, or loaded up. Economy, in its best and most original sense. In liquids, concentration and enrichment both imply a smaller volume with a higher percentage of purity. A sacrifice creates equilibrium. Sacrifice your appetites to a higher principle. Okay. So, this is not so much about lowering our expectations, okay, but being open to compromise, realizing that there is a sacrifice that is going to be needed here. I think we're trying to decrease something that has become too excessive, and this is really that 10 of Wands. And we're trying to lower our own sense of responsibility, perhaps by giving responsibility to the other person. By saying it can't all be on me. I can't be responsible for everything. You've got to share in the work a little bit. It's like somebody who's running the household, cooking and cleaning and taking care of the kids and working a full-time job where the other person doesn't do anything. Well, that's way out of balance, right? So we're trying to decrease the level of pressure that you have on you. You're trying to do so in a way that it's willing to be open and flexible and willing to compromise and we're not trying to just be forceful and demanding. We're trying to really be the love here, but still at the same time get what we need. Yeah. Let's do an angel number as a mystery card. And we will do an empowerment oracle. The candle of hope. I am hopeful. Every day I make the choice to be positive. No matter what happens around me, I guard the flame of faith within. At the moment when all feels lost and I face a dead end, hope lights a new way. And see, that's on our lover's card. So I feel like you are committed to this relationship and you are holding out hope, which is why you're willing to continue doing the hard work, even the unfair, imbalanced responsibilities and pressure that you're facing, because you believe in this partnership. You believe in this commitment that you've made. And so you're holding out hope here, and you try to wake up every day and be positive. Okay? But things can't keep going the way they've been going. We're going to need that conversation. Let's do an Oracle of the Radiant Sun. Secrets. Yeah, secrets. It feels like with the lack of air energy, there's no communication. And maybe it feels as if the other person is harboring secrets, holding things back, not communicating. Maybe they feel the same way about you, that you're not communicating, that you have secrets, you have things that you're not saying. And so we both feel this way, and then it's just like we're going to butt heads. There's going to be friction because we're both assuming the same thing about each other. That there's just something that's unspoken, that there's some mistrust. Yeah. So we definitely need those swords cards, and I rarely say that. But in this case, I feel like we do. I feel like we got to be open. We have to open up because I don't think you trust each other right now. Let's do a creativity oracle card. Counsel. Seek out the counsel of those whose lives and creative work you most admire. Well, maybe that's where we can start, right? Opening up to somebody, a friend, a different family member, a different person at work, to sort of, to get some outside input. Okay, well, maybe that's why you're here watching this tarot reading, to get some kind of outside input here of someone who's not in the middle of it. When you're having this kind of impasse with your partner, it's very easy to get kind of stuck and lost and confused and turned around and twisted up inside of this relationship. Sometimes it's good to get the outside counsel, to get somebody else's perspective, to talk to a friend and a different family member or professional, counsel, to say, okay, this is the situation. Am I looking at it wrong, or like what's going on here? So that's a good advice. Good advice there. We're going to do a Metatron oracle card. And looks like we have, what do we have? The emotional well-being. Yeah, the emotional well-being, which came out rather violently here. So I feel that there's a reluctance to have the conversation, because I feel like once we start talking about this, it's going to be very difficult not to get emotional about it. And I think that as human beings, we're all pretty familiar with that. We tend to keep things inside, because once we start talking about something, it's going to be hard not to cry. It's going to be hard not to break down and really feel all those feelings, but sometimes that's what we need. Sometimes that's the only way for us to have the emotional well-being, is to talk about it and let the tears flow if they're going to. Let ourselves get emotional. We'll stay in control of ourselves, but we have to be able to feel those feelings, and we have to be able to communicate and express those feelings. And this might be a relationship where you want to talk about your feelings, but the other person is always resistant to that, never wants to hear it, right? Let's do the path of the serpent, and well, I think today we'll use the Rider-Waite. The Four of Cups, all work and no play, right? And this is kind of like the Four of Cups, we're resistant. We're resistant to, or the other person is resistant to anything of an emotional nature. It's kind of, I don't want to talk about my feeling. I don't want to open up. I'm refusing. So I feel like this is your general energy, but it's sort of, I think that's how we're looking at the other person, and that may be how they're perceiving things too. That they just want to do their work. They don't have time for all this emotional stuff. They got work to do, So there is a need to open up about our feelings here. Okay. And I think that, you want to. I think you're trying to figure out perhaps how to do that. Here we have the Two of Swords. We're trying to figure out, we're trying to make a decision based on what's going to be healthiest, what's going to be the most productive kind of thing here, right? And, emotions aren't usually considered to be rational. They're not often considered to be productive. If you're in this sort of work and productivity mindset, it's like, what place does emotions have? And so I think we're trying to make a choice here that's, I want to build a good life, but we understand that our emotional experience is part of that too. That we can't just be, I don't know, it almost feels like you're with a romantic partner or a spouse, but it just feels like it's a business. It feels like your siblings almost, It feels like we're just sort of working together, but we're not actually in love. We're not actually like romantic partners, And so I think that you're trying to make that decision on, what's going to be the right move. Do I stay and put in the work here, and is it going to get better? Or do I have to realize that, hey, this was as far as this relationship goes, making the choice to go a different direction? It could be that you're sort of feeling at a crossroads here. We have the Knight of Cups. I think you want somebody to be more passionate. I feel like you're a passionate person. And the obstacle here, I think, is that we're waiting for the other person to start showing some of their romantic side, some of their passion, maybe passion for the work, maybe passion for the romance of this love relationship. You're looking for somebody, or perhaps waiting or wanting somebody to start showing that they care, right? And if somebody's letting you take all the work and they're not really bothering to help or whatever, that kind of seems like they don't care. If somebody is dismissing your emotions and not willing to communicate with you or to be open, seems like they don't care, right? So that's what we're hoping for. The Knight of Cups is all about the expression of love and affection, the giving and receiving of love and affection. We have to realize it's a two-way street. Yeah. And here we have the Six of Pentacles. Now we got another six. Six of Wands, Six of Cups, Six of Pentacles. To me, feels like this is going to be successful on every level. I feel like the two of you want the same things, you care about the same things, and you work together very, very well. I think we do need more passion, more intimacy, more romance, but everything else seems like it's very, very harmonious. Everything else, it seems as if this is a really good partnership for you. I think we have to learn to communicate our emotions. The other person has to, work on being more open and more expressive of their feelings so that there can be a connection. Okay, let's look at the mystery card. We have angel number 0606, the commitment, right? With the Lover's card, the commitment, card number 6. Loyalty, responsibility, truth, love, light, spiritual realm, growth, and solutions. Applying honesty and light daily is a fast track to creating a peaceful and meaningful life. It's how you find solutions and comfort. Release worries by speaking your truth and expressing emotions regularly. Open up, for the best is yet to come. I think everything is going to change. I think the miracles are happening. We got a lot of the sixes here. You're going to harmonize with this person. There is going to be love and passion and commitment and romance, if that's what this situation is. Everything is going to be coming to alignment for you. Okay? We have to open up and communicate, and I think they will respond to you. Okay? But sometimes we've got to take the initiative. We can't wait for somebody else. Everything's going to work out. All right? Now, I want to thank you for being here. I really do appreciate you. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you, and I love you, and we're all in this together.